Do I need to count you down?
No. The button has been pushed.
The button's pushed.
The button has been
Uh,
pushed, Michael.
oh God, we've got podcast sign. Ah.
Pod
Hi everybody.
sign.
Actually, I think our intro is hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's another episode of that D&D podcast. I am your erstwhile host, GM Mike J. Darkson Berard, GM Mike if you like. And tonight, I am petting a dog. Adam looks at the camera and thinks of something to say, and Jordan laughs. Nope. No. Okay. There we go. Touchdown. All right. So we are going to be playing that D&D now 5th edition, which is 5 of 5th Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And if you really want to be super technical about it, I think it's like 7.5 edition. But
yeah, 5th is it's not even ballpark.
Yeah. And that's not even including the sub editions like
4E Essentials,
like 13th Age and
So. No, I'm not doing this.
I knew I was gonna say.
That's bait.gif.
That's bait. All right, so I would like everyone to introduce themselves. If you are in the correct order, I will give you advantage on your next check. If you are in the incorrect order, I will take advantage from you.
Neat. Hi, my name is Andrew Otway, and tonight I will be reprising my role as Senrathi Cobb, They of Hope and Power, Tiefling Messiah? ?
Hi, I'm Jordan. Tonight I'll be playing Vashla Stormforge, Dwarven Eldritch Knight, and Befriender of Goats.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am Keith. I am a sovereign citizen, and I need to know if I am being detained.
This is an Admiralty court, so...
Well, what color is the fringe on the flag?
Gold.
Someone quick. On the Canadian flag? Because that's a huge problem.
I actually don't know if there's a fringe on the Canadian flag. BRB Googling.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'll be playing Fritz tonight, and I'll do my best to ignore everyone else.
Hi, I'm Zach. I am not a sovereign citizen, but I know way too much about them. I will be playing Yorha, the zealot barbarian, who didn't really get to stab the T-Rex last time, and I'm kind of angry about that.
We can bring it back.
Maybe we shouldn't, though.
Yeah.
I have stats for it. It's called an Allosaurus. It's right here.
I mean, but it's dead because I murdered it.
Yeah, Sinrathi murdered the crap out of it.
There can always be more. That's how more works. That's how D&D works. The GM spawns additional monsters.
You must spawn more overlords.
That's right. You must spawn. Oh, damn it. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. And that housekeeping is what happened last week. Does everyone remember what happened last week?
I played a bunch of Into the Breach, and then using the time resetting phenomenon, it's now this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's next week.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is what happens next week. My bad. Spoilers.
Unfortunately,
last week there was a
lost.
lot of combat.
Yep. And Keith did very good.
Yeah, you didn't even murder any of us.
I didn't. There was very little conflict between us, and a lot of conflict with kind of just everything around us. And I didn't get up in my commander's face, which is probably good for continued survival.
It's okay. I couldn't have hit you anyways.
It's true.
I would have sat at point blank range, dodging whatever you were throwing at me and just shooting you in the chest.
All
we didn't
right.
have to, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so last week was a combat encounter I had dreamed up of called the Siege of Lorca. It lasted the entire session because we don't know how to do quick combat in Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know that Dungeons and Dragons knows how to do quick combat. Let's specify.
Is that what I said?
No, you said we don't know how to in D&D, and I just said D&D doesn't know how to.
Okay. And it was interesting. Like I think the conceptual combat thing worked out much better than the implementation, but that might just be an artifact of how things work sometimes. I'm not centered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not centered even more. Oh god, I gotta play with my camera. Oh god, I'm closer. Ah!
You right there, Mike?
I got a
Streaming
case for
is
something.
hard.
It is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, my favorite part about streaming is looking into a camera and smiling. So there you go. All right, we have oh, that's right. We learned the backstory of Jordan's goat.
Let's just
Yes.
leave that like it is.
No, no,
Right there.
my goat, like my real life goat.
Yeah, and Jordan's real life goat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%
apparently.
That's
real
what you
goat.
named it, like Jordan's real life goat. Like that just seems very like presumptuous of you, I guess.
Well, I
It's
mean,
100%.
it's real. It escaped once though. It was an scapegoat.
Oh, God, that hurts. It hurts me here, Mike. It hurts me here. I'm pointing
Off
at my
camera?
heart. You can't see.
Yeah.
Yes, it hurts me off camera. Wink.
I can see. I can see Zach reaching for the disconnect button as we speak. So yes, last week we had a combat encounter. The entire session. It was conceptually okay, but there was a little clunky on the implementation details. I'm gonna work on some ideas for that. And I think that someone will try to looking into the future because we've played this already because of the breach has been already sealed. I believe that someone will try to sell me on the Genesis system because it's got a fantasy rulebook coming out in the near future? Question mark.
I mean, the default thing already has fantasy in it. I mean, I can just wheel back there and get the book and hand it to you.
Okay. I mean, here, if you want to hand it to me through the internet.
I mean, we can totally do a trick shot right now. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're doing. All right, I like it.
Here you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Smooth. ILM
Perfect.
couldn't have done that cut better.
Flawless. All right, here we have on page and here is Vashla. Vashla's goat. I believe the goat's name is Goaty McGoatface.
I was going to ask if the goat gets bonuses to ramming.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So many goat names that were somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we Googled silly goat names.
I
Yes,
was
we spent 5
giggling
or 10
for a
minutes
long
reading.
time.
Yes.
I thought of one later. Lawrence Goatburn.
Ooh.
Jeez. I remember asking Erin where she was reading hers from and she wouldn't tell me.
Goat.
Goaty McGoatface is pretty good
Nice.
on a number of levels. Like that.
I can't remember the names of like any of the ones I came up with, so I can't even like search through the chat log.
You said them out loud. You didn't type them.
Oh, God damn it! That's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, Vincent Van Gogh's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But for real, the goat's name is Asmund.
Asmund. Not Aslan or Osmond, but Asmund, right?
Well, actually, Osmond is a
Asmund.
variation of it, but
Oh, it is?
it's like Norse for divine protector or protector of God.
Oh, cool.
It's actually a mistranslation. Protector of goat.
Common thing happens all the time. You know, it's really
Translation in and out of common.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot prettier in the original Dwarvish. You know, you lose a lot of the nuance when you translate it to common.
it loses some of the.
That's deep speech. That's a little
Yeah,
different.
Dwarves are
that's not
hey,
Dwarvish.
dwarves are very phlegmy.
I don't know that they are. Like, I don't know how much, like... Anyways.
Well, I feel
God
like they're
damn it.
They're what was it?
Selena Gomez.
Oh, God damn, Mike.
I love it so much. You're all my friends.
All right.
Okay, so let's roll some dice.
Yeah. So
Well,
now
why
we have
though?
to. I've amused everyone but Adam, so now we must amuse Adam.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, we just
All
turned this into that Echo podcast for like 2 hours, and then we're good. Like, the game... Is it Eco?
Eco.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't finished destroying the environment in Eco. So you guys are standing in the center of, well, not in the center, like in the southern ruined gate of Lorca with the castle on the hill. The western gate is mostly fine. The southern gate has been like kind of pried inwards. It's been hit by the battering dinosaur ram. What's the word I'm using for rot creatures for enough that it it punched its way inward. Things spilled into the city, and there's been quite a few casualties just
We
from the
held
people
the
on the
gate,
wall.
though. I mean, the people on the wall have been shot to death, but I thought we held the breach.
Only one.
The gates of Helm's Deep were not breached.
Well, they were.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mike, why didn't you send explosive sappers after us?
Because I gotta save something for the sequel.
Okay.
No, so it caved the gate inward. The gate's still like, it's like busted in.
Right, but like some things got in, but then our melee types murdered the stuff.
Yeah, your melee types think they got most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so now you're kind of in the middle of a city that has not really over having been in siege. We're gonna pick up so there are two options here. We pick up immediately after they left off if you guys want to do damage control and like emergency stuff. And if you don't, we fast forward until you guys would be comfortable leaving from that.
I mean, I would totally do emergency stuff, but I don't know when we need to play it out, right?
Yeah. The it was so there's not going to be like a whole lot of there's going to be some first aid to be doing. I know that Yorha is a big fan of healing angry. There's going to be some like triage type stuff, but a lot of the damage, a lot of the injuries aren't as like rot infested as I read chat. Sorry, as they would have been if it was mostly melee combat. The ranged combat did not have the same effect, as you're not seeing like rot infested injuries being dragged over to you guys. It's mostly just, unfortunately, death.
I mean, probably strictly better than rot.
Yeah.
Beyond the first couple.
Agreed.
Yeah, we just do what we can, and then we like hand them off to someone else, unlike rot, where we have to re-kill them.
Right.
Right. There is, however, the small issue of the field hospital out of the western gate.
That's probably my next stop.
Keith would follow.
Oh, I thought you were going to go track the nerds in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You read a whole note.
Which is why you have 2 notes there, and I wrote, "Do not believe her lies."
There's a note?
Go woods time with bad guys. I don't see anything about do not believe her lies.
Yeah, I deleted it, because the Memento reference kind of,
I've never seen Memento.
Oh, you should watch it. It's good.
Are you sure you've never seen Memento? Check your tattoos real quick.
Yeah.
Unless Memento was somehow themed off of the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe, I'm pretty sure that my tattoos do not help.
I follow.
It was a good movie. I hated it. I'm sorry. You follow Cinerathy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said you're going too, or?
I mean, I will keep doing triage and what I can. I can heal people, but I'm probably not as useful as Cinerathy in this situation. I will be like stacking bodies and trying to rebuild defenses, maybe.
Gotcha.
And like forcing gates shut.
Yeah, like whatever we can do, because I don't assume that was it. That's not a thing that Yorha does, is assume that it's over ever.
I think we're going to need a history check for that.
Great. I'm still awesome at history.
Yorha, do you think things end? Please check.
I mean, wasn't this whole thing already really weird comparatively?
Yes, I remember. Well, I think I remember. I remembered there being previous examples of this.
Well, no, like, I mean, the fact that they used like specialized siege equipment and mixed unit tactics,
and they were in
weird.
formations and things, was super weird. Yes.
Yeah. In the past, it's been a brute force, raw numbers sort of thing. This was less that. There was a concentrating fighting force, yes, but there was also the tall boys, which is a fairly unusual thing, and leveraging siege weaponry is not unheard of, but like a joint split, like a split attack. I mean, these are not advanced tactics, but for rotlings, that's bizarre.
For things that we weren't sure were sapient.
All right. So you guys had your way to the Adam. What is Fritz doing?
Yes. I'm guessing immediately probably documenting a lot about what happened so that he can take it back to command, let him know what kind of tactics that these creatures have been using, and then probably trying to report to the Duchess. If he can find her. Countess.
Yeah. Count Margaret. Supposedly.
Okay.
All right, so let's do one at a time. So the field hospital. The field hospital is still barricaded when you get there. Most of the rotlings that had surrounded the field hospital and tried to break their way in have fled. But there is talk that's making people laugh in chat. So Sinrathi, you are there in front of it, and Vashla and Keith have gone with you. The building itself has been, it's that long sort of outriding building. It's not particularly. It was like a converted inn, essentially, or a tavern.
Okay.
It's the sort of thing that was at one point in time coveted real estate that has become donated to people that were dangerous to leave in the town.
I thought it was more of like a prospector tent.
It has had some upgrades since you last were here.
Okay. To an old inn that nobody likes anymore. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I'm booking it over there, so like I'm probably just like rushing in and like cranking open the door and like, who needs help, who's injured, like what can I do, sort of thing.
So the scene inside the tent is I'll see you right back to the tent. The scene inside the field hospital is bizarre. They are barricaded both inside and outside. So the door that you wrench open has to. There's a nun there what's her name?
Oh, she was a former Ash Warden.
Yeah, that retired, I believe.
Yeah, or went to go do something else.
Yeah. Here's my NPC reference.
That's what happens, Aaron.
If you smack a cat, it's gonna get back. Sister Agnes. Sister Agnes, yeah. And she still is for the Imperial cult, she's still a member of good standing, sort of thing. And she's kind of like has backed herself into when you pound on the door asking to let you in,
yeah.
She eventually unpounds you, and she's got a makeshift weapon that she's holding that's basically like a table leg with like a bunch of scalpels like
jammed into it.
Yeah. Not taped, but tied
Yeah.
to the end. Something kind of like a poking club. And she's covered in blood, but doesn't look like her own. Like she's got blood splatters. And this room is also interesting because she has barricaded herself in here, both from the outside and from the rest of the hospital.
Great. Is she the only person in here?
She is the only person in this room, and she said, "I didn't have a choice. I had to stop them somehow."
I'd like to put a hand on her shoulder and just say it's okay. When a limb is rotten, we have to cut it off, and I believe that's what you did here. And I'd like to put a hand on her shoulder and cast guidance, just to see if that doesn't help reassure her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go inspect the room and see if there's anything around that's alive.
So you unbarricade the door, and a thing falls in as soon as you open the door, and it's we're gonna do the body horror thing for a second. So it is it's like the leg of a person sprouted its legs and arms and kind of crawled its way, trying to push its way into the door. It is a rot-infected limb, effectively, that divested itself of its owner.
Is that normal? Do they not need brains and circulatory systems? Is a limb enough historically?
Is that a thing that you studied?
Well, I mean, is this thing still alive?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to light it on fire, and then I can do the history stuff after.
It's not a threat to you because being PC adventurers, and you're able to quickly dispatch it, and then roll me for something interesting.
Insight, Arcana makes more sense.
If it's something that you studied, yes.
Yeah, because I don't have history. Hey, a 19. Why study history when you are history?
That seems. Nope.
That was your house philosophy as well.
Yeah, but no, you're not trained in history. Okay.
So, this is
Also, did I get to light it on fire before Vashla murdered it?
Vashla, are you in the?
She's with me.
Yeah.
But are you in the bodyguard murder mindset?
Yeah. I mean, the whole town was under siege, and she was just talking about she had to stop them. There was probably still going to be trouble nearby. But
there, yeah.
I'm waiting until there's an actual threat to Sunrathi himself.
Sure, but I mean, I definitely imagine this leg thing splops down, it rears up to attack, and then there's just hammer splotch.
Yeah. I think I think I would just kind of at least defend, but not necessarily attack.
So you get your shield up and ready to jump in there.
Yeah. So I'm ready to bump it back with my shield, but I'm gonna guess from Sunrathi's expression that this isn't something normal, and he probably would like to study it to some extent.
Yeah, but it's gotta go first.
Okay. I mean, in that case, I would totally hammer it.
Cool. So before I can burn it, there's I stop because there's hammer time.
Let's see how successful that is.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Pretty legit.
Too legit.
Too legit to hit. I'm sorry, you've missed.
So this is something that you've this exact situation. So you rolled Arcana, right?
Yeah.
So Arcana is mainly going to help you with the ability to recall lore about spells, magic items, eldritch symbols, magical traditions, planes of existence, and the inhabitants of those planes. And this is not a thing that is normal to inhabitants of this plane.
Yep.
People's limbs historically do not get up.
Strictly
People-
speaking, this shit is fucked.
Yeah, and it's unusual for recent history too, right?
Mhm.
Like it's not a thing that is typically studied, and you're kind of self-taught, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a thing that you've seen on your other campaigns. On the Great Kaith Rescue Capade,
Mhm.
Great.
fire was applied to burn out the rot,
Yes.
but the wings didn't stand come up and come after you.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
god! I just realized, like, if we'd been a week later, Kaith might be Kerrigan
Oh,
from-
man,
StarCraft.
yeah.
it's way cooler.
Mm-hmm. You fucked up, Kaith.
No, you fucked up.
Also, just the way you phrased the like people's limbs generally don't get up reminded me of heat signature, and the descriptor for lethal damage is causes people to die, usually permanently.
Usually, yeah. I like Heat Signature. It's a good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah. So the rest of the hospital wing hasn't fared much better.
Okay.
The inside is there was a lot of people who were bedridden and were not able to. They didn't make it.
Yeah.
They were either throttled by their own rot-infested bodies or other people's. There does seem to be another room in the back, like that has been barricaded in. There's a door that's at least mostly shut.
Mhm.
That perhaps is some sort of supply closet.
Okay. I'm gonna go investigate that until Vashla like gets to a door first. I'm a terrible mission for a bodyguard. I just want to point that out.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
so you're like
Keep going
creeping
with this.
through this hospital wing, essentially.
I'm honestly
like, the-
probably kind of rushing. Like I'm in a bit of a panic here.
So you're rushing through this hospital area where there's a whole bunch of makeshift hospital beds, and they're all like pushed against the wall. There's blood on the floors. Things are like, if there was electricity, there would be a flickering light bulb, but there's like a guttering torch instead. And Vashla, you do the bodyguard thing. You get down, Mr. Like, what's going on here?
Well, first of all, did the leg monstrosity? Is it still moving, or
No,
Did
like
it just
like
take
a
one
solid hit from your
Okay.
hammer seems to have dissuaded it from moving again and again.
I just hoist my hammer over my shoulder and just stride after Sinrathi, because the barricaded door can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't dead open inside.
I like that one. Yeah. Keith, what are you doing outside? Are you outside? You coming too?
I think I was following the spooky boys as they ran off.
So, Vashli, you definitely sense danger on the other side of this door. You should probably push it open first, just to be sure it's safe.
Okay. I mean, Sinrathi already looks like he's going to do it, so I just go ahead and like maybe kick the door open because it's barricaded, or is it on our side or the other side?
It's like half barricaded from the inside. Like a couple of strong kicks will probably push it through.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it would like a couple of Senrathi's strong kicks, but Vashla just one boot and done. Get that good low dwarvy center of gravity, and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you kick it hard, and
I
there's
get the
like
goat to ram it open. I'm sorry.
that's your door. There's an open goat opener.
So you nicknamed your lockpick Asmund.
Yes.
The dwarvish lockpick. What is it? It's a goat.
Yeah.
So you kick the door, or Osmond rams the door hard, and the door is mostly wedged shut with the tipped over shelving units. So there's there's like towels and dressings and sutures and stuff all over this room, and like it was wedged with like buckets and mops and like brooms and stuff. This closet, and there is a little halfling like wedged up into the ceiling, like in the corner of the ceiling above the door, as far from possible from like hands that are like trying desperately to crawl their way up.
Oh, like there are just hands trying to climb up the.
Disembodied
Yeah.
rot hands.
God, fuck.
Um,
That's my
I,
worst
I,
thought.
I would like to stride forward and kind of sweep all the hands into the wall, like try to hit as many as I can.
I have a proposal for an awesome
High
combo
five,
attack.
high five.
You
Yes.
get them all together, and then I just burn that area.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Somewhere a bit further away from the halfling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I cast Burning Hands.
Yeah, I try sweeping them all into like the opposite corner.
Okay. When you see the fire, that the halfling kind of jumps, collapses down from the corner. It's not a jump. It's not a spry like anything. It's an exhausted fall.
I try to catch them if I can.
Okay, that seems suitably heroic.
Hooray!
Um,
I don't say anything though.
Are you Tom Hanks or Catch Me If You Can?
I thought that was
Tom Hanks
Mike-
and Leo.
Michelangelo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
yeah.
But Tom Hanks is the person trying to catch the. And then I've explained the joke, and therefore it's died horribly.
He's trying to catch him, you see, if he can.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah. So the halfling is it's a lady halfling,
Okay.
and she's wearing a similar like a white smock and the half crest of the cult of Ash on it as well. And I need I need a voice for this halfling.
Fran Drescher.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
You're all very welcome.
Oh well, it's so great. No, that's all right. What's the New England accent or the New Jersey accent like?
Just do Sarah Palin like you always do. Like
No, it's got to be a different voice than that.
Does it?
Oof, you're a sturdy one, aren't you? Shit, that's Sarah Palin.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
I've only played about 200 hours of RPGs with you, Mike.
I love y'all.
Yeah. Wow.
Mike is now Googling voice coaches.
Shit, stop it. How did you know?
Your
I
Yahoo
Googled,
Answers.
like,
I
Google
accidentally Sarah
voices.
Palin.
Like there's got to be like another voice that I have in my head that's good. Like
Willow or Tara from
Oh.
Buffy?
yes,
Yeah.
well, like somebody I've imitated though. So
Oh, okay.
yes. Oh, thank you. That was quite lovely. I don't even know what voice that is, but we'll go with it. If you don't mind, I'd like to be carried outside, please.
Certainly.
I'm gonna bow deeply and like, I mean, I assume Vashla's got this, but
Hammer on one shoulder, halfling partially on the other one.
I'm imagining you're holding like the halfling in one arm, like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Or-
a child, like a small
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like that.
So well, this is rather disconcerting, but I do appreciate the help.
Save your strength. It's okay. You're going to be okay now.
Funny enough, it doesn't take a lot of strength to talk, and I find it rather calms my nerves.
Very well, as you were.
Did you have any idea that these things could spring forth from people?
No.
New to me as well.
Well, let me tell you, it came as quite a shock to us.
There's been a number of troubling developments in and around the rot lately, and I think I need to have a pointed conversation with someone better informed than I.
Well, if you do happen to find anyone, I would I would love to know that some bit of vengeance, I guess, could be said to be laid down for those lost under our care, and of myself, of course.
I don't know that I'm gonna respond to that.
Yeah.
Like-
I'm probably half listening to the conversation, half calling to the goat to stay away from like the hands that were burning.
It's like eating a soiled bed linen.
Well, yeah, I'm like, stop that, and just getting it to come with me.
Asmund heal.
Oh my god, it's a cleric?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's leveled up since.
I believe in goat.
Mother of goat.
In goat we trust.
I see what you did there.
Okay, yeah, the session title is In Goat We Trust. Job done. Pack
Yeah,
it
that's
up,
pretty
everybody, go home.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to make this lady a promise that I have no intentions of keeping. And I think Senrathi, although tempted to murder this person, be like, listen, my god might forgive you, but that's beyond me. But
What person?
the Inquisitor, who's probably fled, and I plan on tracking down.
Hmm.
But
I thought you were talking about the halfling.
no. No, her asking for vengeance is a thing that I can't guarantee. So I'm
Okay.
probably just not going to respond.
That's fair. I mean, I think.
But
I
you're a
mean-
murder bird, so
As
Bird
far
word,
as
thank
I
you.
know, we already did that. So, because I have no idea the guy got away or that any of the stuff that he confessed on his way to being arrested.
Well, combat started, and then we just stopped following him, so I
Yeah.
imagine he's shuffled off in his chains somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think I got what I needed out of this scene, unless you have other stuff you want to do to these nice people, Michael.
Oh, no, I was going to imply that I was implying that the halfling had been infected by the rot.
Oh! Then I would like to attempt to cure her.
Okay. Yeah, she goes over and picks up an axe from the corner and
Good.
goes to chop off one of her hands.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Wait.
Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am?
I would like to
self-handectomy.
use my protection specialty to give her disadvantage.
Or just pin her to the floor. You
Like, run up and
She anoints
smash her
the
with your
axe with
shield.
holy water, and it's just like it's got a picture of Yorha and like the old style on it.
Like your house, like on the
Yeah.
on the vial.
Yorha brand
No, I-
dismemberment tincture.
I totally stopped her. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even know I was no longer carrying her.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like trying to saw her infected arm off on your warhammer.
I'm
Oh.
going to I'm gonna give myself guidance, and then I'm going to religious at her so I can purge rot.
Okay.
Cool. That's a 3 in addition to this. Yep.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
That's a natural one. Is an 8
Hey.
sufficient?
It's close.
Ooh.
You said it's a cantrip, right? Or is it a level 1 spell?
It's got to be a level 1 spell, I bet. But you just
Yeah.
you make the religion check, and if you make the check, you can expend a slot.
So
Andrew
I
was struck
have
by realization so hard he went blurry.
another thing. Yeah. As soon as I move out of like here, my camera
Yeah.
focuses on the wall behind me. Anyways, I can add 2d4 to this roll because I am favored by the gods.
Goats. Favored by the goats.
Is a 14 enough?
Yes.
If I add enough d4s, I'll get there.
Those are some
Yeah.
strong goats, actually.
I thought for sure you were gonna let Vashla help you out here, but
No, I don't really care that much. Like,
I'll just smash her. Really, she's just a halfling.
I'm the one with the Messiah complex.
yeah, no, that's totally it. Like,
That's actually that's a really good trouble aspect. I'm the one with the Messiah complex.
Yeah.
fuck off, it's me.
So I will burn my last first level spell on, helping this crazy lady purge the rot.
Oh.
Yay.
Well, I was just gonna cut off my own hand, but I see this seems. I feel rather odd.
It's yeah. The worst is yet to come, but
No,
have
we're already there.
have faith, and we'll get through this together, sister.
Oh, this is wretched.
And like, I probably motion for Sister Agnes to like bring over 2 or 3 or 7 buckets.
So so Dragon, you've done this once before briefly, though, right?
I think I failed in front of her, but I did just like suture, like cleaned off the wound and sealed it back up with Cure Light Wounds.
So she seems. What have you done to her?
I'm getting her to purge herself of the rot. It's I don't fully understand it. It doesn't always work, but it works enough times that I have to try.
Okay. Have you considered, I don't know, doing this professionally
Yes.
more often? Like maybe we could. I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have you in one spot, just healing rot, does it?
That's well.
You
I've
could
been
just do, like, a
applying
big
my
D20.
talents. I've been applying my talents as far and wide as I can, but I am but one humble servant. And I think I'm like holding the halfling's hair back while this discussion is going on.
Yeah, she continues to retch violently on that. And like takes a moment and says, "Oh, I didn't know if I said thank you properly, but I do appreciate the." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Betty, by the way.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Betty. I am Senrathi Cobb. And
Charmed.
yeah. And it is my exceptional pleasure to meet you and allow you to help yourself in this way.
I don't think that I helped at all, she says. Continue your work. All right. I just wanted to get, I wanted to see that bit where you made somebody vomit for projectile vomit.
For like 8 hours. The next 8 hours of that person's life is horrible. We have time for a long rest, right?
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the other.
Yeah.
How
quickly Fritz gets us thrown out of here?
Fritz did do a fair amount of property damage with that giant gun of his, as I recall.
All right, so let's.
Anything that wasn't a...
Fritz, do you have any outstanding actions, or do you want us to do Yorha and or Keith first?
I have nothing in particular. I mean, it's just. Yeah, no, I think it was just the archiving and then talking to the lady if I can find her.
Countess Margaret.
Yeah, the Countess.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that seems like a launching off point for the next scene. So let's clear out the last little bits of this scene before we move on. Yorha, was there something that you want to do?
Oh, I'm just like dragging rot bodies out of town and burning them, building up defenses, keeping an eye on the horizon, that kind of thing.
Okay. Throughout this process, you keep catching signs of weakness throughout the city. Like the city walls are not are acceptably repaired for decorative purposes, but they're not like siege ready, right?
Okay.
There are like a number of postern gates. I think that's the right word, right? That aren't sealed properly, right?
Okay.
Like there's not. The city didn't seem prepared for a siege. It was odd that it lasted so long as it did in the siege, and you still get the sense that there's something wrong here.
Yes, these fools are letting their enemies in the gates. Yeah, I will specifically sort of tally up all of the things that I think are wrong about the defensive situation. I don't know if I write it down or what. Again, don't know if I can read. But I will then, in making a mental note, to tell that to my commanding officer, letting him know that these folks basically let the bad things in.
All right, Keith.
Hi.
After 1 second, sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry. What kind of feeling do you have about this?
I feel pretty great. Thanks for asking.
Okay, just want to make sure that you didn't have any bad feeling about this.
No.
Okay,
She's a
Keith,
coward. Yes. Hi.
what you doing?
I was following the guys who ran off from the battle.
Okay, so you specifically are trying to get back access or access back to, like, you want to track the Rotlings that ran off.
Yeah. I think kind of probably without consulting with anybody, she's just going to take off after them once they flee the scene.
Okay.
And we just all assume this is where Kate's going anyway. So
Probably, yeah.
I mean, like in Dungeon World or Burning Wheel, it would be like follow Rot whenever I can. It's like the instinct here, right?
mm-hmm.
Seek the rot.
So they're all like booking it. They cast down the it's mostly the little things, the rotlets or whatever you want to call them, that were many of which had like makeshift weapons and armor that they were carrying, mostly like rusted and pitted and stuff. They cast it down as they run. And then they're just kind of like they're all booking it back to a single point in time. And you do find like one of the tall boys like kind of like striding away from the scene. It looks like a general route.
I will continue to give chase, I guess, and see if there's like a congregation that I can disrupt.
Are you looking to like to murder them, or are you looking to track them? Like what you doing?
Mostly just tracking right now.
Okay. So they seem to be having a dedicated destination in mind, and they don't seem to be stopping. It's the sort of thing where you get the feeling that you could follow them for multiple hours until they reached their destination if you so wanted to.
I think I'll just make note of where they're going and meander my way back to town.
If you drop a hunter's mark on it, does it last for forever?
I have it for an hour.
Just an hour?
Yep. I'll mark some trees in the direction they went, so we can kind of get a general idea.
Yeah, and then we can kill the trees too if you need to.
Yeah. Everything I touch turns to shit.
It's a pretty rotten attitude, Aaron.
Oh, it's a wonderful day here at the podcast. So yeah, you guys have so Keith, you follow them. They're heading towards a sort of specific direction, and you're not sure. You have to follow them for a little bit while longer to be 100% sure, but it sure seems like they're making their way back towards excuse me. Where is the right document for this?
Where is it? Where are the documents?
Tyga Locansat, Rise Stroke. The dwarven city that you left the goblins in.
Tig with Gabo. Got it.
Good. No, wait, the other thing.
Yeah, no. Also surprising. Oh wait, no, the other thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and I guess walk to town, and when I get there, I'll start asking around for where my friends are, and I figure, they'll just know who my friends are because we're all kind of the new people in town who showed up during the fighting.
We're the weird murder hobos.
Hi, I'm basically Legolas. Where are my friends?
Tell me what you see with your rot eyes.
Friends. I mean, fellowships.
Oh
I-
wow, there's a lot of chat going on. I'm
Yes.
trying to hard not to read it all. Okay, so you get back and you find that your friends are in the middle of a uh, what's that thing where you meet a person of royal countenance, like
Audience?
audience in the middle of an audience with Countess Margaret.
Okay. Kate's gonna take a nap.
as
Put a
appropriate.
blanket over her head. That's how you get birds to fall
I
asleep.
think she's actually gonna like climb up into a tree and sort of fluff out and perch and go to sleep.
God, I'm just
All right.
picturing you like climbing up a tree like Bugs Bunny style. You just like start walking vertically up it and then like turn again.
It just
There are
slower,
like
just
giant
chink,
holes
chink,
where
chink, chink.
the toes have dug in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So after the commenter says, "Oh, yes, yeah, of course, right away. They are in the audience of Countess Margaret up at the castle on the hill."
Ooh, boring. Okay, thanks.
You go, "Oh, you're welcome. Good morrow."
You too. And then she's gonna give him like 2 coins.
I'm rich beyond the dreams of avarice.
Okay. I'm gonna take a nap in a tree. Be good.
I like how you just found Oliver Twist.
I opened my own hotel.
All right, so we'll smash cut to the audience chamber, and the four of you are there. Did you all go to Countess Margaret, or what was it? I know that Yorha and Adam wanted to. Yorha and Fritz wanted to. Sidnarathi and Vashla, are you heading back to reconvene with the group, or are you going to go look for the Inquisitor first?
I think I'm making sure this halfling lady's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can like state with confidence that she'll be fine and just like Sister Agnes can hold her hair back, then I'll see if I can track down the Inquisitor, because that seems more pressing than reporting in.
Okay. Yeah, Betty seems like she'll be fine.
Okay.
I mean, she'll probably need to eat her weight in food.
Yep. Like, give Betty a boop on the head and then dip.
God damn it.
All right, so Fritz and Yorha. Did you want to meet with Countess Margaret?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would deliver my news to Fritz about the sad state of the defenses in the town, and then sort of follow his lead. Back up my commanding officer.
All right, Fritz, you find yourself in the audience chamber of Countess Margaret. The campaign table that before had her sub-commanders, sub-lieutenants, like arguing over which counties, which villages to press for more food for the town, are absent. And in its place is like a hastily erected map of the surrounding, erected map of the forces, the route forces that had, and they all came from the west, despite the group in the south. It's like they marched together and then split up.
Mm-hmm.
And Countess Margaret comes in, and she still has her the breastplate on that Ashmith Thomas had made for her. And she goes and she finds the throne, and her bodyguards. There's like one of them is there, and his ceremonial armor is shows sign of battle wear, and the other one is absent. She goes and pulls off her gloves and like sits down on the throne, for lack of a better word, the modest throne, and says, "Thank you."
I'm only glad that we made it back in time to assist with breaking the siege, but I fear I don't bring good tidings from for the house on the hill, whatever that was called.
A House on the Hill. Yeah, that was the name of the
Yeah.
village.
While there, it came to light that the Inquisition is using the rot to fuel the fears of the populace and gain their, I can't say tendrils into the
You absolutely can't say tentacles. Yes.
yeah into the all the people of the lands, and it seems like they were also the cause of what's befouled this great city, castle, keep.
Cause how?
They appear to have some sort of ability to, I can't say control the rot, but they can give them incentive on where to go. Maybe they can draw them to certain places. And they had thought to draw them here in a much smaller number, but still overwhelming for your forces to then sweep in and save the day, if you will. But clearly things were much worse than they planned.
Well, that's quite the damning accusation.
Indeed, and I do have the Inquisitor that went with us did confess to these. And unfortunately, in leaping or into springing to the assistance of your town, we had to leave him behind. I do believe we are trying to track him down again, so that he may answer for his crimes. But I felt that you needed to be apprised of this news as fast as possible, lest the Inquisition still try to find their way into making use of this situation.
Well, the detachment originally assigned here traveled with you, and you say that there are only, and some, I guess some did return with you, right?
They would have came with Yorha.
I think
Yeah.
all of them
Yeah.
either were arrested or joined up.
We had the Inquisitor and one other. Do we
Yeah,
have
there were-
two?
The Inquisitor's bodyguards, retainers were loyal,
Okay.
and then like 80% of the Musketeer forces joined you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we walked him back into town.
Yeah.
After the fire brawl.
After getting blood in, blood out. Yeah. So Margaret kind of like sighs, and she's like, "Well, I mean, this is not immediately actionable information for me, at least. I can convene with the rest of the nobles in this duchy, but it'll be some time before we're able to come to any sort of like formal statement of rebuke against the Inquisition. You have my support in that, of course, but we seem to be in no less dire straits, with a not insignificant portion of our populace cut down in the attack, and continued worryiness, continued threats to the Irony villages.
Ow.
I don't know if there's more that people want to do with this town, but we certainly would be willing to keep on helping out with villages in the area.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's part of our mandate at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there's,
Hey,
if there's rot issues, we have to be there.
And we need to track down the source, or who's behind. There's got to be more people that put together this army. Since the one Inquisitor came with us, obviously there must be. I'm going to ask the Countess if she knows of any larger Inquisition camps or contingents in the area.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to. Hopefully, they find the Inquisitor so we can interrogate him.
Yes, in fact, I have quite a lot of information regarding that.
Clock wipe to chase.
Dun-dun-dun.
I also like how I did not a clock wipe motion.
You're the worst director.
Or editor.
Redditor.
Redditor, you're the worst Redditor.
Czar wipe.
Being the worst redditor is actually probably a badge of honor. Depending on the grade you're, depending on the curve, the scale you're grading on. There we go. The axis along which one grades.
What with the allies?
Well, the grade is from horizontal, right? That's how that.
God, what was it? Axis and Allies was getting like a PC port or something.
Axis and allies and zombies is getting a.
But that's what it was, and I
allies.
just like. Y'all ever hear of a game so bad you go to sleep?
I have.
Okay.
It's that one that just came out that's racist as hell. I can't remember what it was.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah. I saw some people on my Steam friends list were playing that, and I was like,
So
not even ironically, dude. Not even ironically.
Distracted Elf played it, and she just hates every fiber of it. Like it goes without saying that it's racist and shitty, but apparently it's shitty additionally to that.
Oh, so it's a bad game on top of being racist and bad?
Yeah, it seems like a very niche sort of game. Because it's definitely like the Euro.
Oh god, is it the manly stink charm?
It's the game with the manly stink charm, yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't bathed recently, you get a 50% charisma bonus when talking to women.
There's also a hidden perk that the first time you have sex you get that's called alpha male that does roughly the same thing.
Good.
No.
It's a mess. It's a real bad mess.
I think I saw something like subtweeting it, which was basically like, "There's a lot to unpack here." Is the academic version of woof.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan, just like the fact that it's odor and not like stink or whatever. Like, odor already has a lot of negative connotations just linguistically. Like, it's not a positive word.
I mean, not bathing for a week doesn't deserve positive words. So
Fair. You're not wrong.
I have an appealing musk about me.
But like musk is already like at least like it
Yeah.
can go better
Right.
than odor does.
Not
I just want
exactly.
musk to be in italics every time it appears in the book or the game.
If Musk is not strictly neutral, it is at least potentially positive, right?
Do we want to play more Dungeons and Dragons?
That is the question that you always ask me at the end of every session.
I haven't asked that in a while.
Have you not?
No. I have like
How did I
basically
manage to misspell odor
No.
4 times?
We already like skipped. We made it past Andrew's day on the Deadpool for D&D, so he's out of the game anyway.
yeah.
It's he doesn't care anymore. It's just a thing that exists now.
I think my actual day was the day we interviewed John Harper, so like also you should go watch the John Harper interview. It was a lot of fun, and probably that series of interviews is some of the best stuff we've done. Check it out. But not right now because we're streaming.
Yeah, because we're streaming D&D right now. That's totally a thing that we're doing.
Yeah. So the answer, part of the answer that you had was, they seem to. So you wanted to know like where they were, where the Inquisitors like where they were,
Well, just like
Yeah.
if we're able to chase him down.
or where that specific Inquisitor was. I thought you meant like in a general question was.
Or if there's like an Inquisitor stronghold somewhere effectively,
Is
or
there a hive
larger
of
camp.
Inquisition that we can burn?
Or any other knowledge about the Inquisitors is really fine.
Right. So, the two biggest cities are Ashfall and Seaholm to the east and west, respectively. They tend to have larger bastions of the Inquisition, larger conclaves, I guess, if you will, because they are the most populated towns in the Kingdom of Rot. But technically, the head of the order, as well as the head of the Ash Wardens in the Kingdom of Rot, are both in Zenithal. Is the parting information is like, well, if you yes, the armies appear to have come from the west. There isn't much here between us and the next duchy over, but that also might be a thing that you check out, being Ashwardens, if you are interested at some point. She says, and then we switched over to the chase. I guess you were chasing somebody.
Yeah. Also, Zach and Aaron and I made the same joke in chat simultaneously. Further
What is
proving
the joke?
that we're drift compatible. Past the duchy on the west hand side, and Aaron was like between us and the duchy on the left hand side. So
Is that a reference to a thing?
yeah.
Oh my god, Mike. Seriously?
When you're older, Michael.
What?
It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate for children, even though children are singing it.
No.
So just let it go.
What is it? Just tell me what it is.
When you're older. So smash cut to the chase.
Go. I'll pull it up for you, Mike. It'll be waiting for you.
Mhm.
Just go.
This is delayed gratification. When we hit level 4.
Okay.
Okay, now I definitely have to withhold it. So
It appears to be some sort of music.
Yes.
yes.
Basically about smoking drugs.
Yes.
Smoking.
Basically, it's basically about smoking drugs. No, it's almost certainly about smoking drugs.
Yes. Okay. Into the chase. Also,
yes,
Jordan,
so,
are you back?
Talking with my mic muted, but I said yes.
There we are. I was wondering if the mute.
Yeah, no, it was
Get that good
I-
mucus.
The muke was mited was all I could think of. Mike was muted. There you go.
Yes,
Um,
I'm here.
So yeah, all of those of you who are interested in tracking down the Inquisitor, you do so. And let's. The Inquisitor hasn't moved from where you left them.
Oh.
Zach, why is that?
The Inquisitor hasn't moved from where we left him.
Yes.
Is he? Okay, so is he currently being eaten by something, or is he just like standing there?
I think this is a you get to decide thing.
Well, I think yeah. So like, what if he's been like imprisoned in some sort of like cage of rot to be taken in later? Something's holding him there. He's like vined to the ground or locked in place because somebody wanted him to still be here when they assumed the battle was over and went in their favor.
I like that, and that's why I asked you instead of Keith. I don't know if you saw what Aaron has been typing fervently into chat.
I did not.
Okay, Aaron, why is the Inquisitor not moved?
My God.
Because he has an arrow in his chest and he's pinned to the ground like somebody who got shot with a rebar in Half-Life 2.
That's so out of character.
Okay, so
Yeah.
No,
I
I'll go with that.
like this rod cage thing, but like, it's those little the marshmallow fluff guys, the orange Domocoons.
Is it like 4 Domocoons around him and then like 4 more on top of that and then like
What the
4 more
fuck,
on
Andrew?
top of that?
Drift. compatible.
God damn. Okay.
I think Andrew is an alternate history version of me.
Listen, we're clearly just drift compatible, and all we need now is a giant analog mech.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the mech thing is for sure.
Yeah. And if you would like to see us in a giant analog mech, back us on Patreon.
That's,
Once we hit the $10 million a month
good
mark, we
say.
could start
And-
funding.
And
Yeah.
tune in next Saturday for our first session of Girls in the Mech cast, I guess. Something like that. Magical people in power suits. We'll see.
I mean, we're leaning pretty mech because Into the Breach, which is a really fun game that we'll talk about next week just to close this loop.
Yeah, close the breach, the loop.
or have we
um,
already talked about it and then missed it back in time?
Well, I mean, we've already talked about it, but next week.
I like time travel shenanigans.
It's fun. I use it whenever I can.
Or 6 years ago, depending on when you listen to the session. That's right. If you don't know this on Twitch, so the Inquisitor has been and his cronies. Oh no.
It's
His
made of his
cronies?
cronies.
Yes.
The cage
It's
is made of dead cronies.
It's made of like the twisted rot forms of his
The rot infested skeletal remains
Uh-huh.
of the cronies, like a bone cage, like Diablo 2 style bone cage of
but
rot.
all the bones have like threads of orange rot running down them and like big fungal blooms of it on the joints.
Yeah.
Also,
And like his
just-
chains are still chained to the cage because the cage has grown out of the hands.
I just
Also,
want to point out Aaron's joke in chat, which was the real cage was the friends he made along the way.
That is such an amazing joke. Can we all just like take a minute to talk
And just
out?
bask in that, yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
laughing at it since I typed it.
Okay. That's real strong.
oh, he's also about to be a rat in a cage.
I'd like to thank you for the alley-oop on that.
It's good stuff.
I mean, listen, you got the point. I was just being your hype man.
All right, so who's doing what? So you come across this gruesome sight of like the meat parts of the Inquisitor's bodyguard are there, like surrounding the cage, like something had pulled the constructive parts out of the Inquisitor's bodyguards and
Somebody
assembled
pulled their favorite parts out of the burrito.
and left the rest of it on the floor.
I think at this point, maybe Keith will reconnect with the group after her nap and their audience.
Whoa, this sounds fucked up. Keith is there.
Yeah.
She just walks up. She goes, "Ha! Hey guys. I think the rat guys are headed to that goblin. The big goblin city. The dwarves used to live in, but it belongs to goblins.
Can we discuss this when we're not in front of an agent of the enemy?
I mean, we're just gonna kill him, right?
Is there
No.
any way he's not like just a gibbering mess at this point anyway, having watched his bodyguards dissolve?
I think he
as
did
the
it.
bones extracted themselves?
I think he did that.
Oh, is this a protective measure on his part?
I don't know.
It's a bait and switch. Look, can I kill him?
I'd rather see him
No.
confess. And like I'm probably just like I have created fire and I'm just going to start like erasing a chunk of this cage.
Okay, well, if he tries to run, then I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh,
I'll start with the legs,
absolutely. An arrow in the knee.
maybe. And she takes a knee and pulls an arrow out. She's like, "God, I hope you run."
Yeah, like make my day.
The Inquisitor, who had been sitting like cross-legged in a fairly calm manner, like stands up and like stretches and says, "Thank you. That was getting to be quite tiresome."
I don't care. You're
Wow.
coming with us now.
Oh yes, of course. You'll need to keep me alive as we travel back to the capital.
No, we're going to the local magistrate,
He's
where
fine.
you will be tried and presumably executed for treason. Big day
Oh,
ahead of you.
But you need my testimony in order to provide credence to your
I believe the testimony of the local duchess, who previously entered into a compact with you and had been thoroughly betrayed, will suffice.
Also, I'm kind of also the rot, so I mean, I'm like walking evidence, so that's cool.
Keith?
Yeah.
Remember the discussion we just had about discussing things in front of the
Inside
enemy
voice?
agent?
Inside voice?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Pulls out a second arrow.
Oh my god. So are your arrows fletched with like some of your own feathers just so you can have like the wind rustle through them again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
wow.
when I
Everything
fire,
gets sadder with Keith.
That's real dark.
when I fire, I close my eyes so I can. It's like I can hear the wind through the
Yeah.
feathers, and there's for a moment, like when I'm not looking,
You're
it's
flying.
almost like I'm back. Yeah.
Right as you release that arrow. Yeah.
A little part of me is flying, and sometimes that's enough.
All right.
Jordan,
Fritz
say that
and-
shit out loud.
Leaf of cave.
Nice.
Nice. I hate you, but nice.
Fritz and Vashla, do you have preferences on the situation?
Not killing him right now. Yes. Ashen.
Laugh so hard they hit the hang up button.
It freaking kicked me out. I don't know what the fuck.
See, it did it to me too. I'm just not gonna bother with the video because I just want to not be disconnected.
Fritz?
No, I mean I've made it clear what the goal was. You know, get the Inquisitor back to the Ash Wardens.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you march the Inquisitor down through the streets to down the road down to Lorca and to the Countess, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the intent?
Duchess? Countess?
Countess.
Contessa? Okay.
Unless she is all the other cities in the area have been destroyed, in which case she'd be the Duchess.
Okay.
God, Discord chat, even distracting. Keith, you got a pretty close watching on the Inquisitor, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Do you want me
how
to perception him?
Hmm?
Do you want me to percept him?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
how far are we taking him to town? How far is the trip?
Right up until the murder scene.
I'm taking him to Lorca, is my idea.
Okay, well, how far is that though?
Lorca's close.
Yeah, he was like just
mean-
outside.
If it's not that far, I'll just carry him so he can't run.
Are you there? I
don't
thought you were
know.
inside.
I thought everybody
still-
said they would show up there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Oh.
5 of my 6 eyes are busy daydreaming of how I'm going to kill him.
Okay.
They've turned inward.
So Yorha, you pick up the Inquisitor, carry him, essentially, I believe, to the audience chamber where the 5 of you, the Inquisitor, Countess Margaret, and her remaining bodyguard find themselves.
I sort of dump him over on such a way that I know he's going to land on his manacles and hurt himself, but not like really hurt himself.
Hey, shouldn't we like not have them in the same room? This seems like a bad idea. If he's working against the look, I mean,
He's not working against the villages, though.
okay. I mean, you're the boss. I'm just saying words out loud. So
I mean-
I'm the arrow person.
This
I'll
is-
just
this
sit
is-
back.
This is probably the best shot you have of getting a chance to shoot him.
Yeah, but like
Countess Margaret like blinks. Wait, what?
I think Kate is gonna go stand by the Countess with like her spear out.
Okay.
I'm not here to hurt you. I'm gonna stab him if he tries to get close to you.
Oh, I wasn't worried about you until you said that, but thank you.
I just, if a strange bird person walks up with a spear, sometimes people get nervous. So I'm just trying to set you at ease.
Okay, you saved me. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. The setting at ease is a very human thing for you to do.
Ew.
Appeared to be an excellent backhanded compliment. Okay, yes. So please, why have you dragged this thing in front of me?
So he can confess to his numerous crimes. And I probably give him like a brief kick.
If he's still on the ground, I have like my foot on his chest, pushing him down.
Also, once he confesses, I volunteer as executioner. Just saying, if that's a thing, I can put my name in the hat for it. Thanks.
I'll even supply you this hat.
I can give you some coins to buy a hat. I don't say that part.
The Inquisitor says with the boot on his chest is, I see very little reason to comply with such statements at this time.
I'll push down and twist my boot just a little bit to try to like get the manacles working into the ground or forward.
Yes, that is quite torturous. Thank you.
You should tell the nice lady what you did.
I took actions to better secure the realm. Or that was the plan.
Would you care to be more factual and less evasive?
I much prefer this situation, this this cast of the turn of the events.
Hey, anybody else smell a zone of truth?
Guess who's entirely out of spell slots, but is briefly looking up. Cool. I can spend
points you had to spend.
I can spend 3 sorcery points, aka all of them, and have a 2nd level spell back.
Yes,
Zone
you
of
have to
truth.
go stand on him.
So yeah, knock knock, open up the door. It's Zone of Truth.
Curses.
My one weakness.
Being forced to tell the truth. But white lies are part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
Come now, tell the woman what you have done.
Also, it does affect everyone else within like the 10-foot
Fine.
radius.
I'm waiting for Yorha to say something that Yorha doesn't know. That's the
Oh,
only
man.
the only thing that I want to have happen right now.
Vashel, what does the goat admit to?
Arson.
I've been a bad goat. No.
I speak common. You people are terrible.
Like, I'm really waiting for the like 8th act reveal that this goat is secretly like the black goat with 1,000 young.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks for that. I'll remember that for many episodes down the line.
You are very welcome, because I
Yeah.
legitimately look forward to that.
So the Inquisitor says, "Look, I am being tortured and cajoled into giving this testimony. I'll have you know that it's not. I mean, I guess we really don't have any compunction against that sort of thing here, but we attempted to effectively blackmail, extort. Yes, thank you. Extort the outlying villages into raising the flag of the Inquisition by both selling by hopefully presenting the presence of the rot as a force that needed Inquisition protection against.
Hmm.
None of this level of siege on Lorca was intended by me.
Oh, well. It's a good thing intentions are 9/10 of the law.
Who was it intended by?
Um, my understanding was that this was all very small scale.
But
Let's
who
try
gave you
that
that
again.
understanding?
Let's try that again. Answer the gnome.
So what was the exact question? So I
Who
can
gave
answer
you-
as truthfully as
or-
possible with evasively as I can.
Basically, who gave you that understanding?
Um, the there is a Grand Inquisitor who had an idea of using small pockets of rot in order to selectively in order to um, draw more support to the Inquisition. Grand Inquisitor Guerrero.
The same rot that you told several towns didn't exist?
Well, it's
Where's this Grand Inquisitor?
he is, of course, in our stronghold at Senata.
What's the easiest way in?
What are his daily habits and practices? And a list of his fears ranked.
Oh, geez. So, one second we start the Blaze in the Dark sub campaign.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was never. To answer the question from earlier about the rot that you said didn't exist, I was under the understanding, it was my impression that the rot does not exist in sufficient quantities in the wild. It has to be cultivated in order to flourish.
How did you come to be in that cage that we just found you in outside town?
A creature came to me and destroyed my compatriots and told me to, I think his exact words were, sit there and think about what you've done.
Could you describe this creature?
It was truly an awful thing.
Wow, he actually means that.
How long were you
Yes.
in that cage?
Just why were you spared?
Did this creature talk to you?
Yes. He just said what it said to him.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. Yorho is probably distracted.
Yeah, I got the whole boot chest thing. Also, I'm thinking about the last thing he said, which the cult does, or the rot doesn't grow on its own and has to be cultivated, because that goes
Well,
against everything that I
Yeah,
know.
the rot is a weed, not a fragile plant.
I think it's more like the Inquisition is cultivating it, and it turns out you can't control zombies. Epidemics happen, especially when it hits the rapidly breeding population of goblins we left in a murder fortress.
It was this horrific halfling-like creature filled with the rot, and almost it had the wrong number of arms and legs as it scuttled forth from a tear in the sky.
Did it create the tear and come to you?
It seemed to have, yes. I may have missed something important there, but from my understanding, what I saw it came to me to punish me.
Oh, my sweet child, that was not a punishment.
Well, I could have scuttled off had you had it not. So
How long were you in the cage?
from the moment that you left,
So it's been several hours that you were in, sitting directly atop rot-touched materials by yourself.
Again, not a discussion to have in front of the fancy people.
better part of it, like it was like a day and a half of fighting. It was a long ass time.
You gotta be cramped to shit.
And hungry.
Luckily, he's being pinned to the floor, so
Yeah.
Would you care
there
for
are
an orange?
other things on his mind.
Conjure food and water directly in my stomach.
I'm not particularly fond of the color orange.
I think Kate's going to walk over to Fritz and say, I don't know if it's possible for people to not get infected after being in contact with something for a day and a half that's covered in rot, but it seems unlikely, and it seems like a bad idea to have him in this room for any longer.
Can I determine if he's infected?
Sure.
Cool.
Regulation.
Yes. No, I was trying to find the skills portion of my character sheet. I'm going to give myself guidance first. Say a brief prayer out loud in his presence just to antagonize him.
Holy shit! I hope this works.
Great.
By
Good.
the Mickey and the Donald and the Goofy. In Disney's name we
Amen.
pray.
And 8.
Yeah.
Do you have any more D whatevers that you can throw at this?
Has it been a short or long rest since? I don't think so.
Can I help?
I mean,
Since
sure.
I've gotten training in detecting rot.
cool. So
Both
then
you and Vosh,
15.
anyone who can cast magic can attempt to assist if they are trained in religion.
Well, I mean, assist is just advantage is the other half of the thing, so it's the 15. If you help someone.
But are they? You can only help. Can you help if you're not trained?
I think it's just an action you take.
Okay. Yeah, somebody, whoever's helping, describe how they help Sinrathi determine whether or not the Inquisitor is infected.
I have special insight into the signs of infection, and I've been training with Senrathi on how to treat and prevent the spread of it. So, I think
And also, I eat it when it's in people.
if I feel like they're worth saving. But yeah.
And yeah, this guy is totally infected. There is no. You definitely get the sense, like the gods are close here,
Mm-hmm.
and you have no problems communing with them. And this thing is, or the Inquisitor is touched by a thing that offends the gods.
So the goat are watching.
Are the goats offended though?
Are we staring at the goats?
Just the men.
If you stare at the goats stare back.
I think Kate fluffs up a little bit and looks over at Senrathi.
I'm going to purge it out of him.
Great. I'm going to keep standing on him while you do.
Good. I'll clean your boots later. Synergy.
As I see Sinrathi move towards, like, Sinrathi and Kaith do the thing and then look at each other, and then Sinrathi sort of move toward the prone Inquisitor, or yeah, it's prone. I will pull the sickle out of my belt and stand there threateningly while the process goes through.
Yeah, I'm backing back over towards the governess and having my bow ready.
Okay. Sinrathi, do you have the spell slot to spend on this?
Oh. I do not. Yeah, I'm actually tapped out.
Jordan says she can cure.
In an Inquisitor. Good.
The timbre of your voice has dropped.
Yeah, I was
half
gonna say the
octave.
same exact
This really
thing.
is amazing. Actually, I'm digging it.
You sound like a linebacker.
Yeah,
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If the timbre of my voice dropped, only Mike's dogs would be able to hear it. So it's
Yeah.
got it. It's you, friend.
Can you say "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Baby" for me?
No.
Okay,
There you go. I think you're right.
that's fine now.
Yeah, I'll do it. I haven't done turn rat. I haven't even put it in my spell sheet. So what do?
Here, I'll click it on mine for you.
Okay.
But it cost the first level spell slot.
Yeah,
And
I can do it.
Doing it again.
Oh Jesus Christ!
No, that's just religion roll.
Oh, okay.
If you roll higher than the rot DC, which is probably gonna be pretty high since this dude's been in it for a fucking day and a half.
I think it's 15 because that's what I hit.
Yeah.
So 15 or less, and we can give you advantage, and I can give you guidance.
Andrew, I'm sorry, but like your voice is so deep.
Andrew's like, yeah, baby, let me tell you what you need to know.
It's business time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a -1 in religion, but I'm gonna do this anyway.
Nice.
Wait, before you roll anything, does Sinrathi want to give you guidance?
Guidance.
You want to lay on hands, baby?
Okay. Hooray!
That's a whole 4.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Wow!
For a total of 4.
Damn! My God, that is amazing. There's gotta be like
Okay,
these
yeah,
spawn confetti,
okay.
right?
This guy's fucked,
one
yo.
second. Let me reroll for advantage. Okay, that
wow.
was a lot
That's way
better.
So do you want a 4 or a 22, Jordan?
Gee, I can't decide. Yeah, 22.
Wow.
I
Hey,
think
how's
so.
this?
It's you sound far away, but you're back at the normal octaves.
How's it about now?
Better.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think for me, it's probably like I put my hands on him somewhere, and there are like little sparks that travel around. To burn away the rot from the inside. Also to make him twitch.
So it's like Force Lightning again?
Yes. Well, kind of. It's like it shoots out from my fingertips.
Okay.
And just it's going like up and down, just anywhere searching for rot.
Okay.
Do you feel it in your fingers? Do you feel it in your toes?
So is this more God of Thunder or God of Sparkles?
Thunder.
Okay.
I also like that this method maybe doesn't require him to retch and vomit for like 8 hours.
Neither does mine.
No,
Right.
it's just going to lock up all his muscles at once as he's repeatedly tased until the rod falls out.
Yes.
Right. So you're at this for several minutes, and there is
Quick
the-
question.
yeah.
Question. As the person who is physically in contact with the person being electrocuted, is this a problem for me?
I assume that Yorha would just push through it.
I'm fine with that.
You're just numb. None of the electricity can like travel into you.
Yorha really sees himself as a really grounded individual, and that's really how he's doing it. He doesn't need y'all's negativity, okay?
So Vashlet, have you, I don't know if you've connected with the gods before, or do you even believe, is this magical, is this arcane, or like the act of purging rot is an act of faith, but the method is not necessarily. So like Sinrathi's is definitely faith-based. Kate's is like folksy knowledge, and beak pecking. What is yours based on? Is this just like, hey, I read about this thing in a dwarven manual once, hold my hammer, or?
So my thought is the dwarves were Not necessarily. They were somewhat religious, but a huge portion of them were into mixing magic and technology. So it's more like that rather than anything faith based.
Okay. So yeah, you rake this dude with dwarven arcane hammer lightning, right?
Ingenuity.
Yeah. And you spend like the effectively you've got like a charge worth of energy flying out of this thing, shooting into this dude's body. And he writhes in pain, kind of like screaming for several minutes. And it's like every once in a while you stop and like check the meter, right, on the magical meter to see if like you're done yet. And you run out of battery before you run out of rot.
Okay. I turn
and
to Sinrathi and tell him
and
that.
you actually get the sense that it's fighting you.
Oh.
Like maybe it's not. Maybe it's not like a rot he caught, but it's a rot that lives inside him. Like they've been cultivating it.
I think I totally just chalk it up to me being inexperienced in this. So I just say that it's not completely gone, but progress has been made.
I mean,
Uh,
can I tell if progress is made?
Sure.
Oh,
yes.
Like, okay.
You're what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I sort of raised my sickle slightly and look between Sinrathi and Vashla. Like, do I stab?
It's partially driven out, right? But this guy either has a level of infection that you hadn't seen before, or either a depth or breadth of duration of infection that you haven't seen.
Great. Congratulations. Again, you defy expectations and reason.
So I'm not stabbing.
I mean, I'm not ruling that out, but
This is the no fun part of the trip, Yorha.
Kate, would you like to try your hand at this?
The birdie hands.
No.
Okay. I figured I'd offer the opportunity to peck.
Oh, no. There will be one peck, and it will be through his head with a shafted implement, and that'll be the end of him.
Is peck the name of your bow?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's got a lot of names.
I mean, I don't know if Vashla wants to try again. I don't know if we want to go through the motions of rolling again.
What is the reaction in the room when Vashla pumps a bunch of magical energy into this dude?
So the Countess is not the only person in her court that has a touch of the arcane about them is Ashmith Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a thing that she is. Magical abilities are not uncommon, but nobody here is magic. Nobody, the folks here tend not to. They tend to be able to make their living elsewhere, better places, doing easier things, right? So she's shocked at first, and like the bodyguard kind of like takes a step in front of her. Shocked at first, yeah. Bad joke, my fault.
Dun, 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 dun.
But like she kind of winds up sitting forward in the chair, curious than anything else, as the process goes on, and like she murmurs several times to the her bodyguard about something that it's difficult to hear over the screamed pains and jolts of lightning.
Neat.
Does that part seem to make her uncomfortable?
No.
Does torturing this person who has some degree of official authority in her presence, does that make her at all like?
I'm standing right next to her since I'm protecting her. Can I hear it?
I thought you walked over and offered like a spear and stuff like that.
I just kind of handed that over to Yorha because I was
Okay.
using my bow as Overwatch next to Fancy Lady.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception roll.
I'm building rapport with the natives.
Is that how Kate views this entire enterprise?
Just quaint beings that are worthy of observation.
Yeah, she's talking to the bodyguard about when, our bodyguard reforms. Be sure that we have magically initiated among them. Search the town for anyone who can do this stuff, and if possible, get me one of those hammers. That sounds pretty awesome.
I like this lady.
I mean, like, Thomas and Fritz worked on the hammer. So I imagine Thomas has, like, designs somewhere.
Yeah, they can probably reproduce it for her. Have we gotten the testimony out of this dude that we wanted, or did we just like stop halfway to try to purge the rot?
Does she have any questions for him?
I mean, I don't. Well, this is bad news. My immediate concern has to be for the town. Has to be for Lorca, and Senatov is not. Senatov is not west of here. It is north. I don't know how that fits in, but I need to be worried about increasing our fighting force, our guard, getting the castle into as siege-proof as possible, and figuring out how to send for aid from the wardens as soon as possible. When I need it. Like, so there are. It is a curiosity for me. It is not a. I don't know what he could tell me that could help me fight the war I need to fight.
Fair. You have notes to give her, don't you, Yorha?
Just the ones about the defenses. Yeah, I mean, I would have handed those to Fritz with the intent that he deliver them, since he's probably got more oomph behind it.
Okay.
From that perspective than I do. But yeah, I mean, I will totally regale her with the defensive shortcomings of Lorca, and question how that happens when you're at war.
So, Countess Margaret looks shocked as you describe the situations, like the postern gates not being properly shut, and she talks to her bodyguard and she says, "These are all items that we had addressed prior to this.
How much prior?
Um, we we checked them during the early stage of the siege before the castle. The curtain walls were never something that yes, they are in need of repair, but the postern gates and the general state of lack of security surprises me.
I'm going to ask the Inquisitor if he had any agents on the inside. Or if he knows of any agents on the inside.
Oh, if I had any, of course not, sir.
Well, did the Inquisition have anyone to ensure the efficacy of the small siege that you had been privy to the planning of?
It seems likely. I don't have concrete information on that. It would seem likely. However, the goal is not to destroy the city because it is the people. We don't want to lose the people. So we don't want to lose all the people. So
maybe you don't, and maybe your superiors are less particular. I also don't know how useful this guy is going to be anymore.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's someone we can use his testimony to convince, but I don't think there is, because the only people above him
Or
are people who would know
Yeah. Are
about
complicit.
this.
yeah, like I mean, maybe we can turn the masses of the Inquisition against them, but I don't know that this guy's going to be our guy so much as just us pointing out the flaws in their plans.
All right, so
Yeah.
whoever among you has the most, the equivalent of heraldry, knowledge
Probably
about
Vashla.
that those things that are going on, like subsets and factions, and there's got to be like a knowledge city or something like that.
Knowledge is gone.
Like, are we talking about Lorca stuff, or are we talking about like larger?
Streetwise?
The
Streetwise isn't
the
even
country
a
at
thing
large.
anymore.
I mean,
Country at large.
I'm
History?
a princess. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I imagine Fritz or Vashla are going to be our politicos here.
That was my thinking as well. One of the two of them.
Wow, there really is nothing.
Yeah.
This is not an angle they expect you to take in D&D, Mike.
Do you need skills for murdering?
I need.
We got them. Do you need skills to find things to murder? We got those. You need skills to trick things into being murdered? We got that too.
I'm really looking for social combat skills.
We have 11 words for murder, but no words for friendship.
I have proficiency in persuasion.
There's persuasion. We have that word for friendship. That's the word for friendship.
I thought persuasion's the skill you roll to get a discount on murder goods.
Also that. It's also that.
But yeah, at
I mean,
this
you
point,
could-
I'd probably turn to Fritz and I'm like, your orders?
Yeah, so like this would be either perception or history. Maybe
I
both.
could do history pretty well. So yeah. There. 19 for history.
That's solid.
Okay, so the flag that was risen, that they raised above House on the Hill, the Inquisition flag that they had with the eye with the sword through it, is not the main Inquisition symbol, which is just the eye, the all-seeing eye, the panopticon concept. It appears to have been like a sect, like an offshoot of it. There are multiple, much like there are competing factions within the Ashen Empire. There are competing factions within, or within the Ash Wardens. There are competing factions within the Inquisition.
So another faction probably wanted to see their plan get bungled, lose a city. It doesn't matter to them, but that faction loses favor.
Hmm.
With that in mind, would the Inquisitor know what faction would be willing to sacrifice a town so that their plan failed? There being the Inquisitor's faction.
Oh, I mean, it's not. While we may have our different methods, we all are strive for the same goal of uniting the Kingdom of Rot under our banner.
I'm pretty sure you're mistaken about that. Are you sure that there's no other faction that would see you fail so much so that they would sacrifice this town?
Many factions would like to see us fail. We're not. There are those who believe our order is too reserved in our methods.
Is any faction known to resort to this sort of subterfuge that would, that would enable this town to, the defense of the town to fail so easily?
That's not. We tend towards more overt methods. Like. Oh, you know what? Yes, effectively, that is within the realm of most of our domains, right? Like we often find the best informants are those that willingly turn on their fellow citizens. So it is dividing and conquering is the thing we do.
It it strikes me that if someone sent agents to weaken the fortress, essentially, in this castle, they had to have been inside when the fighting started, which means they probably are still here somewhere, right?
Or they fled after their treachery was complete.
Yeah, but they were like, we came into town, we didn't see them go. At least I don't think we noticed
Well,
them.
how would we have seen? We have no idea what they.
Well, we didn't really see anybody going though.
Yeah. I mean, god damn it, Aaron. Was there anyone like, I mean, at this point we turn it over to the town and be like, who wasn't on the walls?
It was the Countess. She was in it for the insurance money.
Thomas was her scapegoat. Actually, no, I saw Thomas on the walls.
Yeah.
He was very useful.
No, he wasn't. He was like, you should do the thing, and I was already like, I'm on it, bro.
Things been
Relax.
done, pal. Just chill.
Yeah. Hold up, I'm gonna deal 23 radiant damage. Just watch me. I mean, I think the Inquisitor gets executed at this point because we can't cure him, and I mean that's what you do with the runt then.
Yeah.
So like we get him outside so we don't make a mess of this lady's nice carpet.
I mean, we pulled him out of a rot cage.
Yeah.
With manacles digging into his wrists, and then we shocked the crap out of. We already messed up her carpet. Like her carpet's a smoking ruin of bloodstains right now. But I'll pull him up off the floor and drag him outside.
I think I don't think there's a carpet in here. I think it's just a stone. I think it's under a stone.
Holy shit, Jordan, what's wrong with you?
No, it's just he has armor, right? I was gonna use it last session.
If you steal this kill, I will murder you.
I really like the idea that you're just like, hold on, I'm gonna practice my magic real quick.
Yeah.
I need use XP.
Yeah. That's how skills get better, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta raise my destruction skill over here, or just, shock the wall repeatedly, and this guy's gonna be on it.
I just want to link it really quick just to see what cantrip I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the
That's a cantrip?
it's the clear cantrip.
It's a cantrip. That's why I wanted to use it really badly last week.
Your cantrips go up when you increase in level? Do mine?
Yes.
Mine do, I guess.
I'm gonna grab some more as we keep going, as we figure out.
Okay.
Yeah, I can actually use a bio. If we're
I
gonna...
want to kill him.
So 5-minute break. Come right back.
Okay.
I mean, are we doing a 5-minute break, or are the rest of us going to discuss?
That's up to you. I know that Zach is leaving.
Let's do a 5-minute break.
Let's do a short rest, and then we'll regroup.
Why not a long rest?
I'm gonna spend some hit dice. Push the button.
Button push. We're back. We're back, everybody.
So
Welcome.
I'm not. Hi. I'm not. I don't. I believe that you should be able to change your character if it's like unlearning spells and stuff. Basically at a long rest.
Okay.
Right. Like if you want to drop the spell, like if you have regrets, like definitely try a thing out. If you don't like it, you're not wed to it forever.
Okay.
However, I will say that most of the stuff you fight qualifies as either being an angel or an aberration or
Oh. Okay.
not undead, but yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
said
good enough
angel?
for me.
You said angel.
Sure.
I think he meant like celestials because that's one of the things.
Well, yes, but that's still really weird based on what we've seen in the campaign.
I mean,
Celestials are big dudes with wings and giant flaming swords.
that or Mike is just gonna do that thing where he pulls the like faith carpet out from under my character, which I'm super on board for. I just want to make sure that like I'm vocalizing the fact that I picked up on a word he said because it makes me feel smart.
I don't think that you'd fight anything that you'd consider celestial.
Okay.
Sure. That I mean, yeah. I don't have a detect alignment spell, so
Right.
you know. Cool. Okay. So I mean, I imagine it seems like for a city this size, with the quantity of humans that would have to be living in it, humanoids that would have to be living in it, there would actually be like a semi standard way of executing people what have the rot.
Yes.
So I mean, I think we just take this guy there and add him to the queue, and like,
Okay.
make sure it gets done right. But
Process him.
basically,
Sure.
Let's line them all up and burn them. That's not death campy at all. That would be great.
I'm not saying we're the good guys. We're in the moral clear here. I'm just saying.
I mean,
are you repetitioning from more shocking grasps to death?
Yorha's not fighting this at all. This makes total sense to Yorha, but Yorha's like a, yeah.
Keith, what do you want to do? You say that you have words.
Keith wants to be in the room where it happens and also be the one who makes the death for him happen.
Can I be reminded why Kate hates this dude so much?
She's had to experience the rot firsthand, and his cultivation and downplaying of the existence and spread of the rot led to a lot of unnecessary suffering. And while the dead are already dead and there's nothing we can do about it, they could have not been dead had he not been a fuckstick. So basically, he is the face of all of her current frustrations.
So Keith wants to have some fun. This beat is sick. She's going to go murder a fuck stick.
I like the rhyme, but for her, this is not fun. This is like
Mhm.
this feels like her duty she has to do.
I feel like you're still going to derive pleasure from murdering him. Like,
I mean-
I get that feeling from Keith.
Ask me after. But that's up
So
to y'all.
the standard method is either going to be something like a firing squad or I think it's probably a firing squad for folk that are not guilty of a crime.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Right. You just get blindfolded and whoever's in the militia that day, everybody lines up, grabs a rifle, and take a shot
Well,
at the same time.
so is it like
for
everyone
those
in
who
the firing
committed
line?
crimes, there are different punishments.
But if you have a crime and are full of rot.
They hang you and then burn you.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the hanging thing just like over a giant bonfire?
No, they take the the bodies from
Well-
everyone who dies gets burned here.
Yes.
See, here's the thing, though, that how long have they had standard procedures for rot disposal? Like, is this a thing that they like? How old is this thing?
It's just your like newfangled fire, goddamn technology.
This
There,
this is not new. This is not old, right?
Okay.
It's I don't know if you were around the last. Their guns weren't around the last cycle. That I mean, long arms weren't around the last cycle that you were here,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So in this, it's considered the kinder version of the execution. So
Where they hang them and then cut the rope when they fall into a fire.
they just hang the people and then throw them into a fire. There's the burning process, the cremation process is standard
Okay.
across all of the Kingdom of Rot now. But the execution by firing squad, new.
Okay. I have questions, but they can be submitted for another time. Yeah, I will march him to whatever the appropriate area is, completely oblivious to Kate's need to kill this person.
So there's I mean, you presumably want Countess Margaret's authentic authorization for execution.
Yeah.
We don't strictly need it.
No. It's better to dot that I.
Sure,
I
but
mean,
like,
if we're using her services to kill this guy,
We don't have to. You're wasting taxpayer dollars on something I will do for free. I even supply my own materials.
You're undermining the public systems.
If she condemns him to death, does the method really matter?
no.
what about all the people of this town who've lost loved ones?
That's the argument.
Yep.
Is we give them a guilty party.
How about we
Yeah.
spend a few days, I teach them archery, and then we can make a day of it?
I'd
Or we
rather
just-
solve this now. I mean, while he's hanging, if you want to like shoot him,
Like an arrow pinata.
yeah, he'll just be hanging there. You can line up your shot. You can make a day of that.
Oh god. That's so horrible.
It's probably
real
less.
horrible.
It's probably less painful
Then
hanging.
It's instant, or not near enough. Your neck breaks
I
when
mean,
it's done right.
if they do it right.
Right.
well, they're apparently doing it on a semi-industrial scale. So
All right. Not
Quality
hanging.
control is low.
Not hangings, yeah. Like crime is still probably fairly rare. The burning is going to be semi-industrial. The hangings less so. God, Thomas probably has some like whole contraption, like fucking halfway to a Rube Goldberg machine for burning corpses.
Oh, so the first thing that came to mind when you guys asked, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a weighted.
Sorry, what?
When you were asking about the execution method, I was like, yeah, it's just a weighted hammer, like a hammer with lead shot on one side, and they just conk and then push into the fire.
Okay,
Hammer.
Because
that's very Chernobyl.
works for cows, right? Yeah.
mm-hmm. All right. I mean, do we add him to the queue? Or is there
I
like
think we can jump the line with a criminal of this magnitude. Also,
Dude.
if Kaith would like to perforate him while he's hanging, I will definitely give her guidance.
do we like make an announcement when we put him up there that this is a special prisoner?
Yeah.
hanging?
So if you ask Countess Margaret, she will say that yes, we will publicly execute this person for crimes against
Lorca?
Ash. Right.
Yeah.
This is blasphemy.
Crimes
Right.
against the Empire?
Right. It's treason and it's blasphemy, and the penalties for both are death. So
Okay then.
Just make sure he burns. I think I'm going to, like, be on stage for that. and like the pronouncing of the crimes and like full on taumaturgy, thaumaturgy, whatever it is. Just a like booming voice it
The
even
broadcast.
to the back. Yeah.
So yeah, let's. Sorry, Fasha, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if the bonfire that the Inquisition set up when we came back before was still there. Can we burn him on that just to go full circle?
I mean, that's a pretty vain bonfire.
I get it. Bonfire of the Vanities. It's a good reference. Yeah, I'm just playing the joke now. Yeah. So if you want, you can burn where we want. It's like in the industrial processes, they literally have a place for all graves. There is one mass grave for everyone who dies here.
I mean, it's not even a grave, right? Like it's
It's just
probably a ceremonial heap of ash, and like as the wind picks it up and carries it off.
I mean, there's a remarkable amount of bone in that ash, but yeah.
Sure. I imagine this on the map is the place where the burning happens. Like that's not a smithy.
Oh, on the eastern edge.
Yeah.
It's a crematorium.
But yeah, I mean, I'm good to like bookend this year and move on to the next thing. Or
Yeah, let's light them up.
Okay. Yeah. So, those of you who want to be on the stage, I assume it's Sinarathi. Vashla, where are you?
Right next to Sunrathi.
I assume it's
I have a question. Where is Juan?
the entire the Musketeers have traveled with you, right?
Yeah,
So
I was
they'll-
curious how they felt about him being executed, even though they defected, if they had any feelings about it.
I can't do my Donald Duck voice right now, but in general, there are the part of joining the Ash Wardens and the going to Burning Man. They cut ties with kind of like their old bonds, right?
Yeah.
They have forged new bonds. So like it is, while it is difficult, it is understandable as blasphemy, and it is absolutely treasonous.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, yeah. Did I say the words out loud as opposed to?
No.
Okay.
I figured I would just nudge it across the line there for you.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So so Vashla is with Sinarathi on the execution stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Fritz, where are you and Keith?
I have no interest in this, so I'm not even there.
Are you like provisioning our next journey?
Yeah, I'm probably just getting ready to leave.
I think Keith is.
You can pull the lever.
No, I think she like just walked out of town when y'all handed him over.
Okay.
And Yorha.
Examining the like processing methods, looking at this newfangled stuff, and then probably collecting my gun axe that we checked up like session 1.
Yeah. Okay. So you're up on the castle on the hill. Keep on the hill, getting your gun axe from Thomas. Fritz is doing the provisioning for the next journey. Keith has gone to the woods, and Vashla and Sarathi are there, seeing justice. Yes, thank you, Vashla. I appreciate that.
Look, this campaign has been enough of an incline.
It's been an uphill battle to get here, guys.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah. So Sinrathi, as you pronounce the edict, right? I don't know if you want to take an RP hand at this real quick, or
Oh, just like in the righteous name of Duchess Margaret, whatever her last name is,
Countess.
Yeah.
Countess Margaret.
Countess Margaret Duchess.
Yeah,
Just really pushing for promotion.
listen. I figure after this she's due, and we really in the Ash Wardens we really like to promote from within, so Countess Margaret, took me a second. In the name of Countess Margaret, a call to justice must be observed for crimes against the state, and against God. This man is responsible for the terrible siege that has broken, and as such, his will be done. Or Ash's will be done. Ashley's will be done, I think it is.
Yeah. And the executioner pulls the lever, and the guy drops. And there's it's quick. He just bounces once, and then he goes still. And then his whole body starts to twitch.
Yeah, it does.
Right. And there's this terrible ripping sound as something pushes its way out of his body by his shoulder blades.
Did you play Eternal Darkness?
I sought it out after we talked about this.
Okay, because Bone Thief.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Just checking.
Yeah. So it pushes its way out of his body, and it's this grotesque orange thing with giant scythe hands, just as it pushes its way out of his body, and it's like it's leaving his skin behind, and it's like his skeleton is pushing its way out of his flesh.
Can I light it on fire?
I would assume that you and or Vashla would do.
I would like to light it on fire, but I assume Vashla gets to act before I do, because I'm on a shitty initiative.
Are you higher than 0?
Yes.
Then you have more initiative than me.
By 1.
But I'm 1.
Maybe this is why I'm such a difficult mission for you.
Yeah.
I am going to create a bonfire. So he needs to do DC 13 save or take 2 whole fire damage.
Generally, reaction time is a quality that you look for in bodyguards.
Well, let's do initiative instead. All right, we know what damage you're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing if you get to it before it starts.
Out of curiosity, is it still above a burning pit?
No, the pit is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's not nearly as metal as I thought it was to start
Yeah.
with.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work for a piss hand village, not a piss hand village, but for a
They
town.
have
it seems
Tony
like.
fucking Stark.
I
Sorry,
wanted
Tommy
to-
Stark.
I wanted to Sparta kick him onto his own bonfire.
You want to what? Kick him on the bonfire?
I wanted to Sparta kick him.
Tommy's There's bonfire. Yeah, we can make it more metal, but
Look,
Yeah,
with a 15 initiative, that's pretty good, right?
it's pretty
So
spicy.
you're able to enact attack before it does.
Mhm.
And the thing, it's not a thing you've seen before, but it is yet another creation of the rot, and it burns. It burns like all rot things should, and most rot things do. And the townsfolk see it, and it makes a dash, or what would be a mad dash for the crowd, away from you and Vashla, but its burning body fails before it gets far. Its legs buckle as the fire cracks the bones, and its blade hands as it's trying to, winds up being a flaming skull and a bone arm
Good.
reaching out.
Oh, good. We've created Ghost Rider. I'm trying to figure out what Senrathi would say, but I mean, have faith, Lorca. Have faith, Lorca. For in hope, all things are possible. As like the thing just crumbles to ash.
Yeah. And that would have been a more interesting fight if you hadn't burned the shit out of him.
I did 2 damage.
I mean, the whole
Yes.
the hammer. Yeah. So that's what we got for Lorca right now.
Yeah.
Adam, where does Fritz want everybody to go next?
I would have to get more information. I mean, we have towns to save. We also have a conspiracy to bust open back in home base, right?
Mhm.
You said we share the same home as the Inquisition, effectively.
Nominally, the capital is shared between
The capital.
the Inquisition and Ashwarden's Cenotaph.
So, I just want to say, if we do ever get the Burning Wheel campaign off the ground, it could probably do a very interesting job with the conspiracy. I don't want to stop like this campaign from going in that direction if that's what we want to do. I'm just saying like that could be a possibility as well.
Well, so there are 3 or 4 options that I see in front of me, right? You guys could go check on the goblins. You go check on the outlawing town, or you could go check on like the source of where the armies came from, or you could go check on the home base area. And like, I am fine if we want to continue rolling D20 plus stuff for things. I am also fine if you all would rather roll fewer or more dice, plus or minus stuff for things.
Fewer than? Are we going diceless? Is that fewer than 1d20?
Sure.
I'm gonna play Amber up in here.
Is that... Strangers. Yeah, that was one of my favorite books when I was like 16.
Dread.
Dread is the goblins trying to get out of the Warrens.
Sure, but I'm more just tickled by the idea of like non-local Jenga towers.
Well, we each get our own Jenga tower.
Sure, but we have to keep them all synchronized.
Do they have Jenga towers in VR yet?
Yeah, just
They do.
tabletop sim Jenga
Oh,
towers.
yeah.
They have
Okay.
boom blocks, which is basically Jenga with the weight.
We need to make sure to bring Jenga to PAX.
Yes. Or we just acquire.
The phrases Jenga and PAX have a certain connotation for me, causes me to twitch a bit.
I'm interested and also wary.
This might not be the time or place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes. I mean, yeah, like, yeah. Where does Fritz tell us to go?
I mean, the other option is we can do the traditional thing for us and split up and go to 2, 3, or 4 of those places.
Because me and splitting up the camp. Well, so yeah, I mean I bring this up because where you go and like what you want to do is sort of like I'm more than happy to continue running a classical style D&D campaign. If you would like to, we could push towards a more classical style D&D setting for that. Not setting, but like situations for that.
Content.
Yeah, I love the setting. I'm definitely want to whatever we play. I'd like to play in the setting.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having much fun with the world and stuff. I'm trying to see how many different game things we have.
God, we have.
We're just trying to make the decision for the Wizards podcast, and it's just been agonizing. And like every 2 days, we add a new thing that we might want to play.
And we've added. No, we've had enough votes now that I think I'm fairly confident in saying that.
Ooh, drum roll.
City of Mist sounded like there was a significant number of people interested in it.
Cool.
Yeah, Cool.
All right, so as for Fritz, I think it would be a dispatch back to home base, but he would probably see their mission still being in the field, protecting the people in the outlying area. So either it would be towards the city or towards the horde. There'd be no reason to go to the goblins in Fritz's mind.
No news is good news, right?
Yeah, I don't think Fritz would have liked him either. So
It's good to be captain.
yeah,
I mean, that definitely lines up with what your Ha would want to do. Let's go fight some more stuff. That's what we're out here to do, after all, right?
right.
To Fritz, does your hus vote matter?
That's a good question.
Fritz respects his elders.
All right, cool. Is that job with everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, Senrathi would probably be all about helping the local folk or the next door local folk,
Yeah.
or diving into the rot and murdering the fuck out of it. I mean, like, the halfling thing is clearly the what's his guy, and the fact that it can, like,
Yeah.
create breaches from the plane of rot to here is an existential crisis.
Yep.
I mean, don't we still have to find a portal?
Yeah, and where's the portal supporting the army that was here? Like, that's probably actually, like, something that occurs
Yeah.
to anyone in the party after a little bit of thinking.
Yeah.
And will we ever find Keith?
Somewhere out there.
Okay, it's stormed off.
Beneath the pale moonlight.
Oh no! When y'all leave town, she'll
Joins up.
find you and follow behind you. She's not really talking to anybody right now.
Just glides on over.
All right, where to, boss?
Are we continuing on? Are we gonna?
Yeah, this is a good hanging out place for now, for tonight.
But I mean,
But,
we should, like, make a decision and then...
Wait, so which way? So we have the horde came from the west, right?
Yeah.
And where are the outlying cities, or the city that was the closest? That
So like,
Also
here,
west.
I'm gonna take over the screen share. Share.
What?
Jeez.
Oh, okay.
You just
I should become the map now.
Oh,
we're
geez.
now we're in France now.
Right.
I'm never
that's-
gonna live that down.
Front you.
Yes,
I don't have a good way of displaying this, but
that's fine. No, it's
If you right click, you can focus participant, and it'll make
Yes.
it full screen.
but I'm like, I've got everybody's video cropped. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
also right
Stand
clicking
by.
focus participant isn't working.
Oh well, your shit's whack.
I just double click and it focuses.
Oh yeah, that worked.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
That's fine.
We got this, Mike. Whoop.
Okay, cool. So you all down here. I don't know. There, please ignore the. There's a depleted mine here. I accidentally created that and can't undo it. So, oh wait, there we go. Oh, shit, fucking. God. So you're over here down here in Lorca. There is two major cities to the west, Vineyards and Sandshield. To the northeast is Ashfall, and far off here to the west is Seahome. These are the two largest cities. Vineyards and Sandshield are the second to largest. Cenotaph is the whatchamacallit?
Capital.
Is the capital, but is not the largest city because it is the farthest from the ocean. Yeah. So to get to Cenotaph, you either have to go east up this road, and there's another major city over here, or west to Sandshield in the north.
And Sandshield is roughly the direction from which the Rot army came. and
Yeah.
they fled south.
Yeah, they fled to the southeast. And like the whatchamacallit, the Tig is down here.
Okay. Great.
Where's the
Okay.
city on the hill that we came from? House
It's
on the
up-
hill.
West and north a bit. Is
Yeah,
my
it's
understanding.
just up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is west.
Okay. Oh
So
yeah.
there are. This is the. I don't know why this isn't the latest map, but there are a bunch of spider ups of villages that go around each of these
Yeah.
red circles. So
Okay.
All right. So are we just headed west looking for stuff?
I mean, I can do the thing where I like pray and try to find Rod again. Seemed to
Okay.
work last time. We found the Inquisitor. Nothing bad happened from there.
Everyone was happy forever.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
Yeah, if you wanted to seek guidance, that's a good first start to a journey.
Cool. I mean, do we want to cut the session here and then Mike can tell me what, my prayer vision sent us on next time?
sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool.
All right, y'all. This has been. Oh, that's going to be incredibly disorienting. So I want all tab. This has been an episode of that D&D podcast. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you all had an excellent time. We are on Twitch, and we are on Patreon, and there's a YouTube channel and a Twitter feed and a podcast, and come check us all out on all these types of things.
Do all these things. Do all these things with us.
And in like 4 years, you'll finally be able to start listening to our City of Mists because we
It's
may
very
have gotten
exciting.
through our backlog by then.
Tune in next Saturday.
Or are
for
we
the
actually
first
streaming this?
broadcast.
Ooh.
Are you gonna host?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
I should make an overlay. It's a good thing I'm finding this out live. All right. Good night, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. Yeah. Also, buy Into the Breach. It's really rad and worth $15.
It is.
Totally.
I've gotten $15 worth of fun out of playing mics. So
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, internet.
I didn't mean to spring that on you live on air.
I don't
Do
even. It's who do we have in it? How many humans?
That is another question that we should
Yeah.
discuss.
And how many of them have webcams and will be on?
Right.
Yeah.
Or want to do that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, on the upside, we don't have to clap and have shit edited together after it. So
yeah.
All for that.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm pretty happy with that particular session.
Yeah.